The reason why the dating pool is so trash is because of us. The women, I'm gonna explain. Women are so brainwashed that if you're single and that you're not committed or have a ring on your finger, that you could talk to whoever you want to talk to. You could date who you want to date. You can have sex with who you want to have sex with. We're brainwashed to think that. Listen, ladies, when I tell y'all, that's nasty. It says a lot about us as women if we feel like just because we're not in a committed relationship that we could do whatever the fuck we want. Why is it that what we want is to be outside? Why is it that what we want is to have a roster? That's a problem. And then y'all wonder why men treat us how they treat us is because we treat ourselves like this. Hear me out. Treat yourself as if you're sitting on the right-hand side of God. If you treat yourself like that, you will require a lot more from men and a lot more for yourself. We need to be untouchable, women. We need to make these men start working for it again. And I'm not even talking about the kitty. I don't care if you're single. Y'all need to walk around here as if you're untouchable. You do not need to have these men having access to you. I don't care what y'all say. Men just gonna be men. No, men are gonna be who you allow them to be. And if you allow them to keep coming back, if you allow them to talk to you crazy, if you allow them to keep getting the cookie and they're doing bare minimum, they're gonna keep doing it. You're gonna attract who you are. When you look in the mirror and you see a beautiful woman, a hardworking woman, you see all these good qualities about yourself, a man is going to be attracted to that and you're gonna attract that type of man. And then just imagine when you have multiple men and you start catching feelings for them, because that's how women work. We think with our heart. Now we liking them. Eventually we're gonna lay down with them. If you're talking to 10 different dudes or 5 different dudes, out of them 10 or out of them 5, you're gonna lay down with at least 3. And if you ain't sleeping with 3, you're sleeping with at least 2 of them. Why? Because women are curious. We sleep with 1 and now we're curious. I wonder if number 2 is better than.
You know what? I mean, to be honest with you, she's 100% right. And the worst part about it is that we value women based off of how they value themselves. And I'm not talking about when women say that they deserve everything, they deserve the world, despite the fact that they done slept with 100 different guys and everybody in the city has now had access to you. No, 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 no. How you treat yourself. If you've reserved yourself and everybody hasn't had access to you, you become more valuable to us. And the minute that women start to realize that, and they realize that you can't operate like men, and that's the biggest thing that's holding women back, is that they think that they can think like men, that they can do everything and anything and be out here in these streets, and then they can still come back from that. And I'm not saying that you can't get married, but what I am saying is that you're going to have a hard time with trying to convince somebody else to see the value that you think you deserve, that you're supposed to get. It doesn't work that way. It never has. It never will. And despite the fact that y'all keep affirming each other, y'all not marrying each other. And as a matter of fact, I'll even go further and say, when you do marry each other, we now have data and statistics to go back and look at how well people hold on to each other when they are married, even when they are gay couples. So, like, for example, we know that a heterosexual couple, a male and a female getting married, is around the 50% mark about getting divorced, right? And we also know that men that marry each other, which, you know me, I'm not an advocate for that. I don't stand for that shit, but I'm just going based off of the data and the statistics because it paints a bigger picture. When men get married to each other, I hate even saying that. I think it's somewhere around 30%. When women get married to each other, and it doesn't matter what demographic you are, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, whatever, socioeconomic status, it's not even a thing. When women get married to each other, it's closer to 80% that they're going to get divorced. And when we start to understand that there are gender dynamics at play, and the reason that you can be or you can get the thing that you say that you want is largely because you are projecting yourself based off of your actions and the value that you bring. If you go and bring 2 or 3 different kids into the situation, guess what? We don't value you the same way. Is it possible that you can get married? Of course it is. Of course there are certain circumstances, because I can already hear y'all in the comments, especially the women. Anton, well, what about if a woman is widowed? I'm talking to the majority, not the minority. And the fact of the matter is, we've always held women to a higher standard when it comes to preserving themselves for their husband. We do not see you the same way that you see us when we sleep around versus when you sleeping around. And I'm sorry. Blame God. Go have that conversation with Him. Don't have a conversation with me. Don't try to hold me accountable for what it is that God has already ordained to be what it is. The way that men operate, you can't do the same thing. And let's not try to compare and contrast that, because there are things that men can't do that women can do, right? There's always going to be a double standard. That is given. The problem in society today is that we've tried to equalize, that we've tried to justify the idea that women is out here being promiscuous, having a whole bunch of children, and men are deciding that they are walking away from that because they shouldn't have to be a father to a child that is not his. They don't want to finish another man's saved game. It's just the fact of the matter. And you teach us how to treat you. We are only going to go as far as you allow us to go. I mean, unless you're a scumbag, but I'm assuming that the people that's watching this video right now is not scumbags, the overwhelming majority of us. But you teach us how to treat you. If you are a whine or a nag, if you are a woman that's in the streets, and we're going to treat you accordingly, we're going to say that you are for play. I know a lot of women, I see them all the time and say, oh, I don't have no problem getting a man, this and that, and this and that. But they complaining about the fact that they single. Or they complaining about the fact that men are saying that they're single mothers. And it's like, okay, you don't have a problem getting it. No, 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 no. You don't have a problem getting a man to treat you like a plaything, like a toy. You have a problem getting the man that you want to marry you. And that is the caveat. That is the thing that we have to start having a conversation. We don't want to have that conversation. We want to operate in a silo. We want to pretend like we know what we're talking about. Want to pretend like everybody is happy and getting their results. Mm-mm. The ones that are winning, they get selected, they get married, they get pedestalized, they get treated differently. Your power is in your femininity, but not in the femininity to where you make yourself available to everybody else. And we can see it. We can tell when you've been in the streets. We can tell if you for everybody. I'll give you a hint, for example, right? Let's say I go into a spot and it's not a spot that I frequent on a regular basis. And let's say I meet you there, or we connect, and you say, hey, I want to take you to the spot or whatever. I want you to let's link up here. I'm familiar with it or whatever. If everybody know you, that's a problem. If everybody knows the guy, right? It's kind of like Goodfellas. Let's say he's able to go in and he get the best seat, and the bartenders treat him well and all of that stuff. That's clout. If the woman goes in there and every dude is hugging her and was like, oh, hey, baby girl, whatever, so on and so forth. No, that's streets. You see the difference? And you can sit there and complain and say, well, no, Anton, I don't like it. It's a double standard. That's cool. But the market dictates otherwise. The value of something is what somebody is willing to pay for it. And if you don't act accordingly, if you don't treat yourself accordingly, if you keep thinking that you affirming yourself is the only thing that matters, I'm telling you that you are going to be by yourself. And let's be very clear. A lot of these women that be in these comments saying, yes, sis, or whatever, they not gonna help you. They not gonna pay your bills. They not gonna sleep with you. They not gonna hold you down. When you by yourself, the comments can't come and save you from yourself. And so you are going to be scissor kicking, or you're gonna be by yourself with a cat. And if you're okay with that, then I'm okay with that too. I mean, freedom of speech, freedom to do what you want to do does not absolve you from consequences. And so if you're okay with the consequences or what comes with it, we cool. But what all I'm saying is, women used to be creatures of prestige. There was a clear separation of the women that were for the streets and the women that was wives, or the women that we value. We looked at them differently. We treated them differently. And somewhere along the line, we lost that. And I think that if you really want to understand how you can be successful in relationships, then you need to preserve yourself and you need to treat yourself better so that other people can too. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. I always like to give credit to the content creator, so that link will be in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.